And welcome back to Pro Expert MIDI Academy, everyone. I know it's been a while, but it's been well worth the wait, trust me. Because today we're doing an Ableton Live dubstep tutorial with Native Instrument Massive and Plog Chipsounds. Quick change of plans, though. We are not going to be using Ableton. We're going to be using Digital Performer. And there we go. And also, we're not going to be doing dubstep. We're going to be doing double step, which is a new genre of EDM which has recently emerged in 2015. I am actually the first producer of this. So quickly, let's take a look at our instruments that we're going to be using. Chipsounds. One of my favorites for the high fidelity. You know, it's just really modern looking, and you see that there's a lot of controls, looks like. But I've gone ahead and picked a nice pro drum kit here that I like. It's going to sound really good for us. More about that in a second. And also Native Instrument Massive. Awesome synth. I love it for bass. I used to do it for dubstep, but it's also just as good for double step. We're going to be getting into that. Now, double step, you may see my tempo indicator here. It's actually twice the BPM of dubstep, which, given the name double step, you can put it together, I guess. But there's some other things to it. You double up pretty much everything. You double up the volume. You double up of course, the tempo. You double up the number of instruments that are used. You double up the polyphony of the instruments that are used. You pretty much anything that we're going to be doing here is going to be a double of the original. So let's get started. We see that my two instruments are going out. My main output signal flow is not what we're talking about here. You should already fucking know that. But, you know, I'm just going over it again. So, and this aux channel is just where my vocal's going through, so that y'all can hear me talk. We need a MIDI track in order to send the MIDI to my instruments. So I'm going to make a MIDI track. And I'm going to start by laying down my drums, I think. So I'm going to hit Chipsounds for my destination. It's record enabled. I'm going to open it up. Nice GUI there. Let's hear it. Yeah. Nice. Cool. I really love Chipsounds because you can really like see what you're hearing here. What are these guys up here? You know, if you're gonna ship a damn instrument, you better actually have samples in your zones, you know? That's just false advertising right there. I don't know how much money those 4 wasted notes are. Is it 4 or 5? 5. 5 wasted notes. But we'll make do with these. Little side stick there, that's cool. Let's get started, okay? I got my gonna start recording. And it's not halftime like in dubstep. All right. Gonna go ahead and quantize this. fix all my mistakes. In dubstep, the duration of the drum hits are gonna usually be twice what they are in dubstep. No, wait, that's sorry. 240 pulses per quarter note. Yeah. All right. And I don't know if I quantized that right. Need to watch my own videos. Maybe that'll do it. How do you rewind? See those samples playing back like that. All right, it sounded just about perfect, except some of the inconsistencies with the velocities. All right, now we're ready to move on. Another thing with dubstep is that the track color scheme, you're going to want to use double the contrast of the track colors that you'd use in dubstep. So in dubstep, you might use like this. See what I mean? Every little detail counts. All right, so that was my first MIDI track. I'm going to call that drums. All right, I thought I was going to call it drums. All right, now this one is going to be for Massive. Now we're really in for a treat here. Anybody who's used Massive knows that it just sounds huge and gritty and dirty and full of filth. Dubstep is double the grime, double the filth, double the angst. It's like dubstep is just it's too nice. It's too happy. It's like you're having a good time listening to it. So let's hear something out of this. Looks like a preset's already pulled up. Some macros. Let's see if I can get those assigned in a minute. But for my MIDI track, my output needs to be Massive, and that's channel 1 right there. You can only access Massive or Chipsounds from channel 1. So let's check it out. All right. I think I'm pretty happy with that. And I've already taken the liberty of mapping out some controllers to some of these macros. So I think needs a little bit more resonance to give it more bite. So you see how I've mapped it. This is not really got that much to do with MIDI, so I'm not covering it in any other videos so far. All y'all producers probably know this already, how I would do it. Okay, cut off. It's a little bit of tweaking. Cool. I think I got it to where I like it now. All right. And we're going to need to record something, of course. In dubstep, you have wobble bass. In Dubstep, you have double bass. Now, that means that, I mean, it doesn't mean that you actually use an acoustic bass, like in an orchestra, but you can. That's like usually the first choice, but I don't have one of those. So the next logical step is to use a synth bass. You can't like just get the sound of an acoustic bass on a computer. So you have to kind of work with what you got. But let's see what I come up with here. Okay. Quantize. I think this time I'm going to swing it. See how that pans out. Okay. Not really liking the track color. That's nice. All right, now if we do want to get into the wobble thing, there's 3 different ways to do that in DP, and so I'll show you a couple of those ways. So we go into the MIDI editor, and if I use the scissors tool, and I turn on the grid here, I can just cut it up. Now this alone is not enough to make it wobble, but it's a start. Let's listen to what we got so far. Hear those pops and clicks? That's where we get started with it. But maybe what we can do now, in order to separate them, is to kind of shorten the notes. All right, put a little echo on there. Sorry about that. Yeah, that'll do it. Sorry. Just forget that whole thing there. We don't need this. It's not gonna sound. Alright, now in order to actually get the wobble, you need a little bit of inconsistency, so you want to eliminate some of the notes, not all of them. So what you got left, you want to select it and humanize it. Because just like dubstep, if you ever go back and listen to dubstep, it's kind of dated now, but you hear like a lot of human like qualities in that wobble bass. So what we're going to do is mess with the onsets and the durations by about probably 20% of what they were before. Okay. Let's go back a few steps. Said I'd go through a couple ways with you. Another way I can do this is to go into massive, and I've got another macro here mapped out to a controller, the mod depth. I can get the wobble this way, or in this case the double. You hear that wobble. So let's see how that affects what I got now. Okay, that is how to create double step in DP. Stay tuned for more exciting videos from Pro Expert MIDI Academy. See you next time.